Imagine this. You're walking down the street feeling just a little off. Maybe it's just indigestion, maybe it's just stress. But suddenly, your chest tightens, your breath shortens, and a cold sweat drenches your skin. Before you can even process it, your legs give out, and the world fades to black. This is what happens during a heart attack, the silent killer that strikes without warning. But what if I told you that the signs start long before the pain begins, that by the time you feel it, it might already be too late? Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what you're about to learn could save your life, or the life of someone you love. Like every muscle in your body, your heart needs oxygen, and it gets that oxygen from blood flowing through tiny vessels called the coronary arteries. Think of them like the heart's own personal supply lines, delivering the fuel it needs to keep pumping 24/7. Now you might be wondering what happens when these supply lines get clogged. You see, over time, a fatty substance called plaque can build up inside these arteries. It's like slowly clogging a straw with bits of food. Eventually, no liquid can get through. This buildup, my friends, is what we call atherosclerosis. It's a gradual process, often starting in our 20s or even younger, and we might not even realize it's happening. But as the plaque grows, it narrows the artery, restricting blood flow to the heart muscle. And here's the scary part. Most people don't even know they have it until it's too late. They might experience shortness of breath, fatigue, or chest pain during physical activity, but they brush it off as nothing serious. But let me tell you, ignoring these early warning signs is like playing Russian roulette with your heart. Because one day, that plaque buildup can reach a critical point, and when that happens, it's a race against time. Now you might be thinking, okay Dr. Mike, this sounds serious, but what causes this plaque buildup in the first place? Well, I'm glad you asked. 3 main things fuel this buildup: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking. Think of them as the unholy trinity of heart disease. High blood pressure puts constant stress on your artery walls, damaging them and making them more susceptible to plaque buildup. It's like constantly inflating a balloon. Eventually, it's going to weaken and burst. High cholesterol, specifically the bad LDL cholesterol, is like the sticky gunk that clings to your artery walls, forming those dangerous plaques. Imagine pouring bacon grease down your drain. Over time, it's going to clog up the pipes. And smoking? Well, smoking is like throwing gasoline on an already smoldering fire. It damages your blood vessels, increases your blood pressure and cholesterol levels, and significantly increases your risk of heart attack. But it's not just these 3 culprits. Lack of exercise, stress, and even genetics can make it worse. It's like a perfect storm brewing inside your body, and you might not even realize it until the thunder roars. Chapter 3. So, we've got this plaque buildup happening in the arteries, slowly choking off the heart's blood supply. But then, something catastrophic happens. A piece of plaque tears apart, exposing raw fat into the bloodstream. Imagine a pipe with years of rust and grime buildup. Now imagine that grime suddenly breaking off, creating a snag. That's what's happening inside your artery. Your body, in a desperate attempt to fix the damage, sends platelets to the scene. These platelets, which are usually responsible for clotting blood and stopping bleeding, end up forming a clot at the site of the rupture. But here's the problem. This clot, instead of being helpful, completely blocks the artery, cutting off blood flow to a part of the heart muscle. And when the heart muscle doesn't get the oxygen it needs, it starts to die. This, my friends, is the moment a heart attack strikes. It's a sudden and often unexpected event that can be fatal if not treated immediately. Chapter 4. Now here's where people get confused. A heart attack is not the same as cardiac arrest. They're related, but they're not identical. Think of it this way. A heart attack is like a plumbing problem, a blockage in the heart's blood supply. Cardiac arrest, on the other hand, is like an electrical problem, a sudden malfunction in the heart's electrical system. During a heart attack, the heart is still beating, but it's not getting enough blood. During cardiac arrest, the heart stops beating altogether. It's like flipping a switch. One minute it's working, the next minute it's not. Now, a heart attack can lead to cardiac arrest if it's not treated quickly. That's why it's crucial to recognize the signs of a heart attack and seek immediate medical attention. Chapter 5. We've all seen this scene before. A man clutches his chest, gasps for air, and falls to the ground instantly. While this dramatic portrayal might make for good television, it's not always an accurate representation of a heart attack. In reality, the symptoms of a heart attack can be much more subtle and varied. Yes, some people experience crushing chest pain that feels like an elephant sitting on their chest. But others might just feel a tightness, pressure, or a burning sensation in their chest. And it's not just men who have heart attacks. Women often experience different symptoms than men, such as shortness of breath, nausea, vomiting, back pain, or jaw pain. That's why it's so important to listen to your body and pay attention to any unusual symptoms, no matter how small they may seem. Don't brush them off as indigestion or stress, especially if you have risk factors for heart disease. Your heart beats about 100,000 times a day, but it only takes one blocked artery to end it all. If you ever feel something isn't right, do not wait. Call emergency services immediately, because when it comes to a heart attack, every second counts. Know the signs, take action, stay alive. Hit like if you learned something today, and subscribe for more life-saving medical content.